Wow. Driving customer service excellence. On time. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We spoke earlier about the good, the bad, and the ugly. This section will focus on the ugly, the angry customer. So what about the angry customer? How do you react to an angry customer? How do you view the customer, and how do you respond when they get mad? The way the customer hears your words will determine the thoughts of whether or not they are satisfied. Here are some great phrases that will help keep the ball rolling in the right direction. Once the customer calls and states his or her problem, you could say things like, "Great, no problem. That's my favorite problem. I think we can solve. I'm sure there's a way to. I know I can help. Yes. Consider it done." But the secret is in these 3 words. These 3 words are, "Oh, that's horrible." When these words are said with extreme empathy and feeling, they are your ticket to wow. These secret words not only stop the customer from complaining, but it lets you begin to get resolve and solution. The customer doesn't want to hear a bunch of lame excuses about why you can't help them. They only want to hear yes. They want to know you care, and they want to know you can help them now. When you say, "Oh, that's terrible," in the right situation, it immediately lets the customer know you're on their side. The customer is expecting you to provoke an argument, but when you say these 3 words, the argument's over. Try it. It works. There are many other secret words you can say to satisfy a customer. Try this phrase. "You're in luck." When a customer calls and needs your product or service immediately, don't say, "Sorry, we're booked solid and can't get you in until Friday," or "We're out of that product." It will immediately invoke an argument and the customer will go elsewhere. You have essentially lost the customer. Remember the equation? Try saying this. "Oh, Mrs. Smith, you're in luck. We have an opening this Friday morning," or same language, much different feeling. Customer service is a feeling. So how do you say it? So let's talk about some forbidden phrases. How many of them do you use? Do you have an angry customer, a customer with a question, a customer with a problem, or a customer with a need? Well, then you have an opportunity. Customers who are angry have a problem, have a question, or have a need are your bread and butter. The opportunity to wow them is won or lost depending on your words and the tone in which you speak to them. Using the wrong words is bad enough. Using the wrong words with the wrong tone is death. Here is a list of phrases you should never say to a customer. These are words and phrases that add fire to an argument, or worse, start an argument. "I'm sorry, but it's our policy." What seems to be the problem? "We don't or we can't. There's no way we can. That's the way we do it here. I don't handle that. Our computers are down. I can't find any record of it. What do you expect me to do? You should have called. It's your fault. Sorry, we're closed. We did the best we could. We've done all we can. That offer ended yesterday. I'm very busy right now. What do you want me to do about it? What was that again? I don't have time right now. Let me transfer you to someone who can handle that. Well, there'll be an additional charge. I can't help you without. We never. I will have to ask someone else if it's okay. You'll have to. If you had just. Well, why didn't you? You can talk to a manager, but he or she will tell you the same thing. Let me tell you how we operate. Your first response, your first words set the tone for the transaction and the future relationship with your customer. It is so easy to do it the right way. Just use the right words and say them in a friendly manner. Wow. We all make mistakes, so you do something wrong and the customer gets mad. You apologize and try to fix the problem. Make nice and hope they don't go someplace else the next time. The secret formula is to react, respond, recover, +1. When the customer is angry or you cannot deliver the way they expect, the formula will make them forgive you, continue to do business with you, and tell others. React, respond, recover +1. Let's say you have done something to irritate a customer. When you're done with your dance of apology and making amends, that is when the customer starts talking. They will say something good, bad, or nothing at all, depending on what you said, how you said it, what you did, and how you did it. How much is the customer worth? Remember the equation? We will start from the bottom up, beginning with the plus. If you irritate a customer and are able to react, respond, and recover, you may be out of the woods, but you're not out of the doghouse. You need to do something extra. Go the extra mile and wow the customer. When this happens, you have the autonomy to make a decision as to what you will do to wow the situation. If it was a serious mistake and you're faced with possibly losing the customer, send them flowers, chocolates, or something you know from creating a relationship with them they will appreciate. This will wow them every time. When the situation is somewhat minor, offer an additional discount, coupon, or send a gift certificate. The plus is what makes the difference between satisfactory and loyal. So how about the apology? How do you apologize to a customer? When you or the company makes a mistake and an apology is in order, all sorts of options are available. Knowing what to say and when to say it are critical to the recovery process. Here are a few options. Say, "I sincerely apologize," versus saying, "I'm sorry." Saying "I sincerely apologize" tells how you feel about the circumstance that upset the customer. You are apologizing for the occurrence. Caution: many people apologize on behalf of someone or something. If you are going to apologize for something, apologize on behalf of the most important person in the world, you. "I sincerely apologize," but itself is weak unless it is accompanied by a solution. Never give an excuse when you apologize. Being able to admit your mistake will leave the customer with a wow. Saying the words "I'm sorry" is the most often used phrase. These words describe you, not the circumstances. These two words should be abolished from the English language because there are no two more insincere words spoken. If you say it enough, you become it. Sorry. But saying, "Oh, that's horrible," when appropriate, this is the most desired response you can say to a customer who has an emergency. It says two things to the customer. You care about them personally, and two, that you're going to do something to help them now. Saying, "Oh, that's horrible," must be said with feeling and empathy. For example, "Oh, that makes me angry too," or "I'm going to see that that situation is resolved immediately." Let's not forget thank you in an apology. Thank you is one of the most important words you can say to a customer who you have recovered. "Thank you for bringing that to my attention," or "Thank you for having the courage to come forward with this." "Thank you for understanding." All of these are great phrases for recovering from a mistake that caused your customer to be angry. So let's talk about the deadly apology. Saying the wrong thing when you're trying to apologize can be a deadly situation. Following is a list of phrases you should never say to an angry customer. "Sorry about that." This phrase also means "up yours." It's spoken without an ounce of sincerity and is always said without looking the other person in the eye. Simply stated, this phrase means "oops, too bad, I don't care." Or even thinking "who cares?" This philosophy will get you nothing but fired. If you feel this way, change jobs before you get fired. How about giving some lame excuse? Your customer does not want to hear excuses. They only want to know what you're going to do about it. Making excuses is self-serving. Taking action is customer serving. Blaming someone else. This is a lower form of excuse making. Telling a customer it is someone else's fault in no way excuses the error. Customers don't care whose fault it is. They only care about what you're going to do about it. If you say this to your customers, they will find your competition. Citing company policy. Company policy is made for the company, not the customer. The word policy could possibly be the most alienated word to say to a customer. Even if you must enforce it, never say it to the customer. The customer complaint. When you take the call of a complaint, even though it may not be your job, or you may not have been the person to cause the complaint, you are the person who is responsible to see that it is resolved. Your job is to communicate it and follow up afterward. If you own the problem, you own the customer. However, if you lose the problem, you lose the customer. It's just that simple. When handling an angry customer with a complaint, you have the one and only opportunity to recover the relationship. Remember, the customer is always right, except when the customer is wrong, which is most of the time. Right and wrong don't matter. It's the customer's perception that matters. Here are some steps to take when handling a customer complaint. Tell them you understand how they feel. Empathize with them, comfort them, tell them a similar thing happened to you once. Listen all the way. Be sure the customer has told you everything. Ask questions to understand their problem and find out what it takes to satisfy them. Agree with them if at all possible. Be an ambassador for the company. Tell the customer you will personally handle the complaint. Never blame others. Admit you or the company was wrong and take responsibility for it. Don't pass the buck. This will only irritate the situation even more. Respond quickly. When customers have a complaint, they want it resolved as quickly as possible. Quickly figure out a resolution to the complaint and agree upon it with the customer. Finally, make a follow-up call after the situation is resolved. Remember, customers talk, but angry customers scream. What are your customers talking about? Or are they screaming? Here's a fun fact. Customers talk to their coworkers, friends, family members, and neighbors. Here is the number of people they will talk to based upon how well you handle a complaint. 3 people if you do an ordinary job, 10 if you do an extraordinary job, 25 if you do a bad job, and 50 if you get into an argument. And if the argument develops into a fight and your lawyers get involved, you will be on the 6 p.m. news.